I was looking for input and I just wasn't getting it. Right. Who's going to manage this process? Like, how am I going to find an apartment? How am I going to find a lawyer? How am I going to do all these things? I need someone with experience.
What made you decide to hire Inspire Services for your purchase?
Well, that was pretty easy. The minute I spoke to you on the phone, first of all, you responded to my email right away. We set up a call. Within a couple of hours, we were on the phone. And I had great assurance that what I was going to see was going to be properties that were, one, in my price range, in the areas I thought I should be in. And you really reassured me that you would do the due diligence on the properties.
Right.
And the sense I got from you right away was like, okay, these guys mean business. They're going to get me what I need. I can trust them. Right.
And did you look at other options?
At
other companies?
I did. I talked to a few different lawyers, but they were all part of the closing process. Yep. And not really like hand holding. And I really needed someone to take me through all of the steps. And you were really the only organization that kind of gave me the one-stop shop, and that's what I wanted, and frankly, that's what I needed.
That's what we want to do. We want to bring in everything you need as a buyer under one umbrella, so that you have the team, the expertise that allows you to find the right property, the best value properties, and buy them with the same assurance and guarantees that we apply when we make our own investments every single day. That's the goal.
Well, I think that really on the ground here, when I got to Spain, I could not believe how organized everything was. I had a list of properties I knew I was going to visit. I had a bank appointment. I had a notary appointment. Like, I didn't have to really think. And knowing the time constraints, but also knowing the language barrier, it was completely easy.
Let's talk a bit about that part, how it started, because that's interesting, I think, for other international buyers who are thinking today of making a purchase. You made it, you did it now. And you have a nice apartment now in the heart of Champlain.
Yes.
You need to furnish it.
Well, I'm waiting for the furniture, but I have two bar stools, so I can at least sit.
That's perfect. It's of heritage now.
Yeah, and I have Barcelona ceilings and tile floors and a 100-year-old, 125-year-old building.
So Kelly, do you remember how it started? Because we had this initial online Zoom meeting to align, to understand your preferences. Yes. And then you came here the week after, or 2 weeks later, you came to Barcelona. How was that week? Or how should people imagine the process?
I have to say, first of all, I get this list, and it had like 25 properties, and it was on an Excel spreadsheet, Google Doc, I think it was, but it was just so organized. It was like, okay, 8 o'clock here, a document from your organization, and it was like, okay, I knew right away I was going to be in great shape, because I wasn't just seeing 1 or 2 properties. I was seeing like 6 or 7 a day, essentially from like sun up to sun down, because we're talking this was in January. And in all the neighborhoods I really had thought would be best for me. And then when I arrived, your colleague Kim took me on essentially a walking tour of the city, looking at properties. And after every property, we assessed what I liked and did not like. And I thought that was really key. It's like, what did you like about it? What did you not like about it? Okay, what's your sense of the neighborhood? Like, we can change fixtures, we can paint, don't take that out of the equation. So there was immediately like, okay, she's getting what I want.
It needs to be realistic, because you see too many people, they start off with a plan that's not realistic. And then they don't find the property that they want in the end, because they don't exist.
That's actually an interesting point to make, because at first I was very stuck on a number. Like, I didn't want to go above this particular number. Yep. And then I started seeing a couple different properties, and I said, okay, what if I went up $100,000? Yep. Like, what if I went up $200,000? What would I be able to get then? And in the end, I actually bought the least expensive property.
As buyer agents, we don't care if you buy a property A, B, C. We need to make sure that we can give you all guarantees for property A, B, or C. that we believe it's the best possible price, that we can tick all the boxes in the due diligence process, so that you know it's the right property. But if it comes from realtor A, realtor B, or realtor C, or if it's a property of 300, 500, or 700,000 euros, that is not impacting our decision. The question is it the right property for you? And is it a good future value?
Well, I think that also was important to me because I'm a stranger here.
Yeah.
and I was under this deadline, and I didn't have really the option to spend time in the area. And so after looking at all the properties in the day, I would sit down with your team and we would go through, what did I like about each property? What did I not like about each property? What did I like about the area? And it was like, I felt like I had partners on my side, sort of making sure I was going the right direction. Because there was one property I really liked, but it was not going to be good for the visa process, and I wasn't going to be able to navigate that all on my own, and I would have never even known about that had I not had your organization. Right. Because the people that were showing me the properties were not telling me that information.
If you would have done this on your own, would you have gotten the same results?
Or? Absolutely not. I'd probably still be looking. And that's the biggest thing I think I needed, was assurance that someone was going to help me get this done. And I couldn't have done it without your team.